YouTube deleted so many of my videos. I was trying to find the video where I was doing a reading outside in the park and a comet, like an asteroid or something. It was a loud booming sound, like a sonic boom, like something flew overhead of us. And around that time, I think there was a meteor or something. I don't know, but I can't find the video. It probably got taken down. Anyway, when those kind of things happen, especially when I get a premonition that far back, it's because it's significant to my timeline. I knew that I was going to be at this point in this time. It's hard to explain to people that don't know these type of concepts, right? I would have to draw it out maybe. Let's see. Maybe I should. Okay. I could just use this paper. Most people think time looks like this, right? A timeline. But what time really looks like is this. And it could have variations that branch off, that go in smaller cycles, right? Conjoining possibilities of multiple outcomes because everything is based on choices. It could even go backwards like this or that or any variation, but all of it still hits an endpoint. How it turns out is based on these series of choices as well as the timeline that you're currently on. Choices that are made that involve other people could probably have you circle back or go a different route, or things, cycles, right? We talk a lot in the collective about cycles. Some cycles are long, some cycles are short. Okay, but when you are at a certain point on the timeline and you're getting visions about a completely different part of the timeline, it's like you got to go through all these wormholes to figure out how do you, it's like that movie Looper. It's like you got to figure out, one, is that even on the timeline you're on right now? Two, that's conjoining, that's something significant. Something significant. So say I'm here, right? And I'm having a vision of something that happens way over here, right? But because of all these other timelines commingling, you don't really know what the end result is, how it's going to manifest in the 3D. So when you think of things subconscious, they may not also come out exactly the way you visualize them, right? But because I have an abstract thinking kind of perspective already, which most spiritual people do, you can understand that, okay, subconsciously I thought of this like this, but it was really this. This has happened, me personally, I can't speak for other people, right? This has happened a few times in my life, a few, in regards to my own timeline, right? And there's big visions, little visions, right? That's like your little notes of intuition that you get, and then they happen right away. But the big visions are things that happen far out in the future, right? And it's not to prove anything to anyone because, yeah, sure, you can get bigger visions about things that happen that involve other people per se or like the whole world. But most of the time, the ones that stick out the most for me are ones that are congruent to my personal timeline or things that happen to me personally. They may involve other people or persons, right? But this has something to do with my timeline. It may affect my career. It may affect my health. It may affect, relationships. I don't know, but I had a dream that I was in China 2 years before I was in China, maybe like a year and some change. I had a vision of the very first day I gave birth to my oldest son, down to what he looked like, his actual face. Like the minute they put him in my arms and I held him up to look at him, that exact like memory was in a dream a whole calendar year before I even met their father and laid with him. Okay, I'm need for people to understand this is important. It's like major keys or like what do they call it? Like checkpoints on the timeline. If it's significant enough, it's going to also be something that is going to cause you possibly to, let's say this was on a small loop, but making the decision to agree, right? As this is reality, that could be a signal that you're about to change or elevate to a different loop. I don't know. It's a major milestone on some kind of level though. That I do know, because the things that I can use as examples in my own life are all visions of very important times in my life where something important happened. The birth of my son, going overseas and experiencing that, and meeting certain people in your life is also significant. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to end up with that person. That doesn't mean that anything. What it means is that it was supposed to happen where you're currently at. It was supposed to happen. Okay, so I hope that helps you understand a little bit better. When I start talking about super string theory, that's what it looks like for me. And then let's say you have a trajectory, right, of how it all ends. I like to look at that as like a big giant target in the galaxy, which most astrophysicists would probably assume it's a black hole or something, right? Because as this is happening, we have our solar system, right, which is the sun and all the planets. They are also moving around the sun, and the sun is also spinning because our whole system is moving in a spiral across the galaxy. It's the sun is not in one space, even though, you know, most of grade school they have taught us that the sun is like in one spot. The whole galaxy is alive. It is moving. Okay? It is moving in a spiral. So, where am I going with this? Let's say you have a certain outcome that you want to achieve before the end of your life, right? There are many different ways you can get to it, depending on whether you're going to stay with that abusive relationship, whether you decide to go back to school, or whether you decide to have children, not have children, get a dog, not get a dog, move to another country, not move to another country, decide to take opportunities different than the path that you're on. Like there's a lot of different variables, right? But this is to say, when they tell you that don't give up, you need to wholeheartedly believe that, because there are many different ways to get to your goal. And it has been, well, per the super string theory, there is exactly, is it 27 or 37% trajectory of you reaching where you want to go, despite the setbacks, the changes, or the time it may take for you to get there. Now that I've explained that, again, I've explained it a few times by now, let's go ahead and get into the collective read. By the power of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, please protect my energy as I divinate this message for the collective. Welcome to Starseed Direct. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome to The Edge. I don't have a rhyme or reason this evening. I'm just going to pull a couple cards and see what comes out, as I've had a lot on my mind this week. Something prompted me to look through my earlier readings for confirmation of something, and I guess I found it. I wasn't exactly looking for that particular video, but it makes sense now. I know it hasn't happened yet, but when it does, congratulations. Messages for the collective. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. What consciousness? Christ consciousness. The crystalline grid. Tetrahedrons. Your base and your solar plexus are also significant here. Trusting your gut that you're going to be covered. Someone needs to take a risk also. Someone needs to take a risk and perhaps communicate the move that they want to make here. Possibly using creativity to express their feelings. Good or bad, anger, grief, fear, whatever these feelings are, you need to use a creative expression to express them. Because this is allowing you to get closer to consciousness. I'm hearing wires. I don't know what that's about. Wires. Daring. Find your voice and use it nice and loud, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Speaking up about something. Reassessment. Time to take another look at this situation. There are many possibilities. However, each possibility will lead you to the same outcome. Right, which is why I explained this. There are many possibilities, but it does not matter because you're on a point on the timeline here, collective, whoever resonates with this message, that let's say you're here. There's so many different timelines that coincide with where you're at right now, where it doesn't really matter what direction you take. You're at the point now where it's like you're going to get the same outcome. Okay? You have nothing to lose. You have made the conscious decision that it doesn't really matter what I do next. I know I'm a winner. Period. Right. Because you've always kept your north node into consideration of everything you do, i.e. ninth house, your purpose. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. And you need to express this Because as long as you keep this in the forefront of whatever you do, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It doesn't matter whether anyone supports it or not. The point of the matter is you're doing what you were called here to do this lifetime. And because of this, it doesn't really matter where you are. You're going to hit your trajectory. In case you needed that confirmation, right? Some people will tell you, oh, you have to worship this way. You have to talk about this. You have to use these kind of cards. You have to do this. It's like, listen, if the divine knows my heart is in the right place, the divine is going to provide a way for it to happen. Period. It's like you're at the point now where you don't have to doubt, to worry about what the 3D looks like in this particular aspect, because you know where your mind is at, you know where your heart is at, you know that your intentions for whatever this is that you're about to embark on, or whatever this decision is going to work in your favor. Appreciation. Archangel Michael. Someone is protecting you. And allowing you the space to believe in yourself. So many people have come before this very moment to encourage you not to. But whatever this creative endeavor or purpose or vision or mission or whatever this is, collective, the divine is showing you appreciation and protecting you so that you can still pursue what you came here to do. Now, let's go ahead and tap the tarot real quick. Believe in yourself. The moon. Divine revelation reveals messages, has the power to destroy. The moon is something hidden inside of you or outside of you that speaks of something that you do not see with the naked eye, okay? Believing in the power of your words, throat chakra, okay? God is my strength. Now, for those who don't study the origin of angels or Christianity or Gabriel specifically, Gabriel is the messenger archangel. Gabriel is the angel, and if you are spiritual on any kind of level, Gabriel is the angel that communicates with the divine ones in the form of visions and dreams. So, if you are receiving anything in the form of vision or dreams, regardless of whether you believe in angels or not, this is the one who is assigned to such tasks. Something that was hidden in your dreams, collective. Something that was hidden in your dreams. The moon. A proposal was hidden in your dreams. You already know how this was going to play out, which is why subconsciously something told you that it wasn't even worth getting worked up about. Show appreciation. Knight of Cups, Two of Swords, making the decision to create, making the conscious decision to block off any energy that isn't genuine. Archangel Michael, Queen of Wands. Divine power guards against mental troubles. Archangel Michael protected you from what seemingly was a situation that could have caused you mental stress or strife because you knew ahead of time that this was going to happen. And because the divine knows every hair on your head, every inkling or worry or doubt or anything that would approach you this lifetime, doesn't matter what timeline it's on, this is why it was important to show you this so much so before. Because now you know why you're so protected. Because the gift that you have is very important. Can't make it up if I wanted to. The star. They tried to say you were crazy, but literally the evidence is astounding at this point. That everything you said that you came here to do, you're doing. Everything that you saw is happening. Ace of Swords. You realize now. So now that you know, collective, do this Starseed a favor and act like it.